Hello everyone, how you doing? Thank you for joining me on another video today. I hope you can hear me all right. So I've come out this evening and I have come to an area of Southampton called River Park. It's not too far from where I live. I decided to come on the electric scooter tonight. It's about 10 minutes from where I live, so probably about a 20-minute walk, about a 5-10 minute ride on the scooter. It's been a rare summer's day here in England and I just thought I'd come out tonight, make the most of the lovely weather and just have a chat really about something that I've not really talked about before, or something I've not actually talked about on the channel before, and that is my journey with spirituality and yeah, how that all started really. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys an overview of where I am with that and how that journey started. I hope you enjoy the video. So yeah, my journey with spirituality, where did it start? I suppose I've got to go back to just past the year 2000, I suppose. And I had a very close relative of mine, was very poorly, was diagnosed with breast cancer and had surgery and managed to overcome it. Did amazingly well. And then sadly, after a few months it came back, and like it often does, it came back more aggressively. And at the time, along with everybody else in the family, I suppose I was kind of in turmoil, not knowing what to do, feeling helpless. I suppose that's the main thing you feel. You just kind of feel helpless and you just want to be able to do something to help that person. And it's really painful watching people go through that, isn't it? So I spoke to a friend of mine at the time, a dear friend of mine called Rich, and we were DJing together at the time, and him and his brother Chris, or I'd heard that their mum was a Reiki practitioner, and I'd never really heard anything about Reiki then. I didn't really know anything about it, I didn't know what it was. So I had a little chat with them, and I know Rich spoke to his mum at the time, who said that sadly it was probably too late to be able to do anything to help, which is obviously not what you want to hear, but you'll literally try anything, won't you, when it gets to that stage. Yeah, so sadly not long after she passed away, and this was 2002, and I didn't think anything more about Reiki. Kind of dropped out of my radar, and I didn't think any more about it. Then we jumped forward to probably 2004, 2005, and I was working for Blockbuster at the time, Blockbuster Video. I expect many of you remember Blockbuster Video, and it was a great job. It was a really good fun job, and I was working there, and a customer came in one day and we just got talking, and he said he did Reiki on people, and I'm like, I can't really remember much about Reiki. Can you sort of, tell me what it's all about then? And he asked me to put my hand out, and I put my hand out, and he put his hand above his, and within about 15 seconds, his hand being about 6 inches from the top of my hand, I could just feel the heat radiating through my hand and right up my arm. It was quite an incredible feeling, and from then I was just convinced that, it was something that worked. I didn't understand it, but I was convinced about it. And again, that time went by, I parked the idea, never really thought any more about it. And then my mum got ill. My mum was ill for quite a long time before she passed, sadly. But I know towards the latter stages of my mum's life, I was desperately clambering around trying to find things that would help her. And not necessarily just help her live longer, because I knew that wasn't really a possibility, but more so just being able to help her ease her pain, ease her suffering a little bit, and bring her a bit of peace. And to be honest, I left it too late really to do anything about it, but it sparked my imagination again, and I just kind of remembered this word Reiki in my head, and it just was like a really powerful thing. And I didn't really know where to start then, because things like YouTube and that were, you know, were going then, obviously, and the internet were, but it wasn't as, nothing was as big as it is now. The resources were not there at the time, really, in the way that they are now. So it was a little harder to find out information and stuff that you needed to find out. Yes, around about 2016, I think I was scrolling through YouTube, and you know, like these things seem to, the algorithms seem to have a habit of reading your mind, don't they? And one of the things that they say about Reiki is Reiki will always find you when the time is right. And something popped up on my home feed in YouTube regarding Reiki. So that was when I really decided to kind of explore it further and drill down and see what I could find out about it, and see if there's any way that I could learn it myself to be able to help other people. Like I say, I kind of knew it was probably too late to do anything to help my mum at that time, but I thought if it can help other people, then if it's something I can learn how to do, then why not give it a go? So I suppose that's when good old Google came to the rescue, and I started Googling stuff, and I found an online Reiki course, which is not really the way I wanted to do it. I would have preferred to have done it with a face-to-face, but financial constraints, you know, obviously it's cheaper if you do something online rather than actual face-to-face classes or courses. So I signed up for an online course of Reiki. So one of the things you have to do when you first start doing Reiki or trying to practice or learn Reiki is you have to do 21 days straight meditation. Obviously not full days, but you have to do 21 days of meditation. Or you have to meditate each day for 21 days. So I did that. I started doing that, and I found, and that was the first time, to be really frank, that was the first time that I'd ever meditated. I kind of got into it quite quick. I don't know whether I was truly meditating, but I just enjoyed the peace and the quiet and listened to some nice relaxing music. I found that really therapeutic. And I loved that, and I loved just the peace and quiet and tranquility, being able to go away, shut myself away for a little while, and just being able to be there and be present. And I really enjoyed that. So over a period of months I did my level 1, my level 2, and eventually my Reiki Master, and I had a digital attunement. So to be able to practice Reiki, you need to be able to be attuned to it. So I had my digital attunement for my 1, 2 and Master level. And then I started practicing Reiki. And I was just really doing it for family and friends. And then, as we all know, 2019, late 2019, early 2020, we had the start of the pandemic, and that's when my connection to Reiki seemed to completely disappear. And I don't know whether that was because, like most of us, we were just really confused as to what was going on, didn't really understand what was going on. Kind of didn't really understand that. Well, I still don't understand the universe. I'm not saying I understand the universe, but I kind of just didn't get what was going on. Why were all these people dying, you know? Why had the world changed in such a drastic way? And I suppose in a way I kind of lost my faith, which was not a good thing to do at that time, because that time, you know, at that particular time, faith was something that we all needed, wasn't it? Faith and hope. Because none of us knew what the outcome of the pandemic was going to be. So for me, I suppose, I just found it really difficult to connect with the energy that I needed to do to be able to channel that energy, the universal energy, to help people or even to help myself. And then I suppose I just gradually stopped trying to connect with that energy, and Reiki became another kind of thing on the back burner again, which was really sad because I worked really hard for that, and I loved it when I was able to connect to the universal energy and be able to practice Reiki. You know, obviously it's well documented what's happened to me over the last year. You know, I've talked about that time and time again, all the stuff that's happened over the last year. And then possibly about, I don't know how long it is, I'm not very good with time frames at the moment, possibly about 6 months ago, a really good friend of mine that I used to work with at Blockbuster reached out to me. She heard what was going on in my life and offered some hypnotherapy to help with processing everything that had happened to me, to try and help with working out why I'd had these series of events that had happened. So we started on the path of weekly hypnotherapy sessions, looking at traumas in this life and behavioural patterns and things that I may have done to attract negative energy, obviously unwillingly, and just trying to put some balance and harmony back in my life, I suppose. And it's been incredible, I have to say. It's been a magnificent journey. I'm still on that journey and I'm loving it. I have another hypnotherapy session tomorrow night. But I suppose what it's done, it's opened up my connection to source again, my connection to the universe, and I found that incredible. We've been doing past life regression, so I've been taken back into 2 previous past lives. I think it's 2, might be more. 2 are quite significant, and I'll probably go into them in more detail in another video. And to be honest, it's beautiful. It's absolutely incredible. And I love that. And the stuff that I've learned during the last 6 months has really opened my eyes to the universe, to our purpose. So what I'm trying to say here is, one of the things that's come out of it is that I feel my life's purpose now, and my life's purpose probably always has been to help people. I believe I'm put on this earth to help people. And I've always kind of done work like that anyway, professional work, most of the time, apart from Blockbuster. But then I did help people. Help people find their DVDs. I help people find the popcorn. But yeah, on a more serious note, I think, you know, my purpose is here to help people. I think that's crucial. And I think it's to help raise the vibration of the planet. And I think it's to bring some healing into the world. And by God, it needs a lot of it at the moment, doesn't it? So for me, it's been amazing. So I had a hypnotherapy session last week, and I can't remember specifically everything about it. And all my hypnotherapy sessions are recorded, so I can go back and listen if I want. And there was a part came up last week in my hypnotherapy that was suggesting to me that this is my path, and my path going forward for the rest of my life is to help people heal, whether that be physically, whether that be emotionally, whatever. You know, quite clearly when I started practicing Reiki a good few years ago, it was there for a reason, and it's come back to me over the last 6 months, and with all the other work that I've been doing, I think this is the path I need to go down. So it's quite incredible, really, and I love it, and I hope that it's going to be something that, you know, it's going to be really worthwhile doing, and I hope I can, you know, just help some people, really. So I have a couple of books here, and these are books that I work through and use. Obviously, you don't really need books, but there's something about just sitting and reading a book, isn't there? It just seems much more tactile than scrolling through a screen. So I've got a couple of books here. If anybody's interested in what I'm talking about and wants to explore that further, I know it's back to front on the screen, so I do apologise for that. I don't know how I can change that. So this one is the Chakra Handbook, and this one is the Complete Reiki Handbook. They're both really good practical books. They're both written in quite simple, plain English for people like myself to understand. And if I can understand it, believe me, you can understand it. But yeah, they're really good books, and I really love finding out more about the chakras and the chakra system and our meridians in our body, how that whole energy system works. Part of the whole process I love about meditation, and I love about this journey that I'm on. It allows you to declutter the mind a little bit. The brain's a bit like a hard drive on a computer, isn't it? When we reach a certain age, it's just completely full, isn't it? That hard drive's just completely full. Everything starts being hard to recover. The information, that our memory, it's all over the place, isn't it? So I suppose, the beauty of meditation, the beauty of regression and hypnotherapy, those kind of things are that they do help to defragment the brain, defragment the mind, and get everything back into alignment, which is obviously really important, which helps our day-to-day function, doesn't it? But so yeah, my spiritual journey has been quite a long one, and it's been a very slow one, but it's one that I'm really grateful for. And as I say, Reiki will always find you when the time is right. It'll appear. And if you've not ever had Reiki before, I'm sure a lot of people know someone that actually practices it. Try and get yourself a Reiki session booked in. You might be completely flabbergasted. Reiki will only ever work for the greater good, so it can't do any harm, no matter who you are, what conditions you have. Reiki will only ever work for the greater good. It will go where it needs to go. Trust in the process. I think that's what I've learned to do over the last 6 months. I think I've learned to trust in the process. As I said many times before, I feel like my illness, my condition, something not that I manifested myself. I didn't want it myself. I didn't want the disease. Who wants to get a disease like that? But sometimes I feel that the universe was trying to tell me that I needed to change the way I was living my life. And I've said all this before, haven't I? But I think those times when it was trying to tell me before with various different illnesses, I didn't listen, did I? But anyway, that's really what I wanted to say today. And another random thing that happened. So as I was coming here today, I was going through quite an urban built-up area, and so it's just on a right. There was houses each side of the road, just Victorian terraced houses like we have here in England, and quite an urban area, cars everywhere. And I was on my little scooter, on my electric scooter, and I looked to the left of me, and I saw what must have been the biggest dragonfly I've ever seen in my life. I am not joking. It must have been 8 inches long. It was huge, this dragonfly, and it was about a foot away from me, and it literally flew side by side with me, side by side next to me for probably 200 yards, maybe even a bit more than that. I got so distracted because I was flabbergasted that this dragonfly was kind of following me. It was kind of really strange. They ended up crashing into the wall, and I've ended up doing my fingers some harm. So I don't know what that was all about, but that was me getting distracted and not being able to concentrate and looking where I was going. So I didn't fall off. I just scraped the wall and scraped the fingers. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my spiritual journey, really, and I'm sure that's going to continue, but my main aim for that now really is to be able to assist other people, to help other people, and just give them love and support, and try in my own little way to make the world a better place. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, is there? So look, thank you for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's been really nice sat here in the park. If any of you guys are on your own spiritual journey, or what you feel about spirituality and stuff like that. You know, put it in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you for watching again. Yeah, see you all in the next one. Cheers.